Violence erupted overnight in Toronto.
And spring is upon us. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's Wednesday, March 20th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Kelly Snyder. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Marco DeMeo. Ahead on our show, we have all your news and sports highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, our top story.
A string of violence engulfed Toronto's West End last night, with several shootings and stabbings happening near Humber College. The violence began with a stabbing at Weston and Shepherd at 8:30. Police were then called to the site of a shooting 2 hours later at Keele and Bloor Street West. A man was shot half an hour later in the Martin Grove West and Finch area. Stabbings were then reported at Falstaff Avenue in the Jane Street and Highway 401 area, and on Jane Street at Lawrence Avenue West. Multiple people were later attacked on Weston Road south of Finch. They were robbed and stabbed by a man who fled in a silver 4-door sedan. Toronto police are asking for witnesses to any of these incidents to call Crime Stoppers.
5 men have been arrested after what's being called a sophisticated break-in at a TD Canada Trust Bank in Burlington earlier this week. Halton police say they have recovered $300,000 as well as thousands of dollars in coins and jewelry. They say they found concrete cutting saws, rappelling equipment, ladders, and an oxygen tank at the scene. The 5 suspects were found hiding nearby. They are between the ages of 31 to 48 and face charges of break, enter and commit, and possession of break-in instruments. They will appear for bail hearings tomorrow.
Spring officially began at 7:02 this morning, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Shiloh Adams has more.
The talk of spring has brought smiles to many students' faces at Humber College.
What do you think about it?
I'm excited for spring because it's the end of school and you can go crazy.
Winter may have ended this morning, but the snow and ice are here to stay for the moment. The temperature still has people bundled up in winter jackets and boots, but the beginning of spring will have some looking to shop for new digs.
Buying. Probably not shorts yet, it'll be too cold, but new jeans, spring coats, some rain gear.
Last year, in the month of March, we saw an average temperature of 6.7 degrees, but this year, we've been leaning more to the minus side of the weather spectrum. Today, the temperature hasn't swayed far from the freezing mark, but when the mercury makes a move, it drops. This has been a drastic change from 2012, as we saw a high of 21 degrees on this day last year.
I think we're kind of deceived a bit. It's not really spring-like out. I'm being ambitious in my t-shirt, but it could be a little warmer.
Well, there's no telling when the snow and ice will finally melt. Spring has arrived, which means warmer weather is on the way. Shiloh Adams, Humber News.
Thanks, Shiloh. Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne is meeting with top Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation executives today. Wynne says the province will not support any special funding terms if Toronto City Council moves forward with casino development. She also says it's only fair that any funding deals for casinos must be used everywhere in the province. OLG said last week it would offer a special deal to Toronto if it hosted a casino. This news comes as 3 Las Vegas casino corporations that have expressed interest in building casinos in Toronto are being accused of corruption and bribery in Macau, China. The companies have denied the claims.
Ontario's scandal-ridden air ambulance company Orange is close to recovering $600,000 from founder Dr. Chris Mazza, and they are seeking another $500,000 as well. According to a statement, the air ambulance firm claims Mazza defaulted on paying back a loan he was given to buy a Etobicoke home, but later Mazza sold the house without telling Orange officials. The Star is reporting Mazza received escalating payments from Orange until he lost his job in early 2012. The loans were in addition to his $1.9 million salary. Mazza founded the company in 2005 and tried to turn the provincially funded air ambulance service into an international franchise.
Federal Finance Minister Jim Flaherty says tomorrow's federal budget will focus on jobs, skills training, boosting the country's manufacturing sector, and improving infrastructure. In a letter to other members of Parliament, Flaherty says those top priorities in the budget will help improve Canada's economy. The majority Conservative government will deliver the budget tomorrow afternoon.
A forensic study has revealed poor conditions of steel supports caused the deadly collapse of Algo Centre Mall in Elliott Lake, Ontario last summer. The Police Commission report states that the corrosion problem was so bad, it's a mystery it took as long as it did for the rooftop parking deck to cave in. The report also states that the rate of corrosion was comparable to a marine environment. The collapse killed 2 women and injured several others. The report said a number of actions could have been taken to avoid collapse had the critical condition identified in time.
When we come back, we'll have more news from around the country and the world. Mark Mullen will have your sports update, and Jesse Baines will have your 5-day weather forecast.
According to the calendar, it may be the first day of spring, but it sure doesn't feel like it. I'll have your 5-day weather forecast after the break.